Christina Rizakos here from ProfitableDaycare.com. I am a daycare business mentor and strategist. I teach how to operate childcare centers or daycare centers. I am a mom of four. I am an early childhood educator by trade with over 21 years experience. And I've also owned my own daycare center since 2004. And I'm really excited to teach today's training to you. Before I start, if you are new to the channel, welcome. I usually don't sound like this. I am getting over a cold that's been lingering around for the last few days. My voice doesn't usually sound like this, so bear with me, but I still wanted to get this training out there, and I wanted to get my weekly video out there. So this is pretty much it, my voice. So anyways, today's training, we are tackling how to give kick-ass tours or visits, whatever you want to call them, to potential customers, clients. And this is something really simple, but I also think a lot of people overlook, because the first impression, especially to a parent that's going to trust you with their child, is everything. Like, think about it, put yourself in their shoes and think about how you're entrusting the thing you hold, the dearest, right? Like the thing, your most prized possession, you're giving that to someone to take care of the entire day. You want to make sure you make a really good first impression. And that doesn't mean, yourself, like what they're going to think about you, but also how you present your center, how you present your business and your staff and your program and all that stuff. So there are a few things you can do to stand out from the crowd. And that's what I want to discuss with you today in this video training. One of the first things I always teach my students is to have a tour visit sheet ready and printed out, so that as soon as someone walks in and they want a tour, maybe they have an appointment with you, or maybe there's just a walk-in, have something accessible where you can give this to the person and they can fill this out, asking them, obviously the date, their information, their name, the child's name, the date that they're interested in starting their child in daycare setting, and also their email address. And why I always teach this is because once you have their email address, it's so much easier for you to stay in contact with them for a few things. One, you could send them your newsletter, right? So you could always send them a weekly or a monthly newsletter, whatever you send out in your business, informing them maybe there's a spot available, maybe there's really cool activities that you're planning. Whatever the case is, you have their contact info already, so you don't have to depend on your memory, or maybe you jot it down on paper. No, you have it ready, and it's there, ready, and it's yours. And the other thing that email is good for is a feedback survey, which I'm going to cover in the training. So number one thing you want to think of doing, if you don't have one already, is creating some kind of a visitor's tour sheet, if you will, that everyone has to fill out when they walk in your center. Now, if you don't have one, that's not a problem. I've actually created a free template for you, and you can actually download it. I'll post a link below. You just enter your email and you'll get access to it. And again, you could customize it according to your logo and your tagline and your daycare's information. But that's one of the things I always suggest to anyone before they even think about giving a tour to someone. So when it comes to tours, one of the things that I think is important is the time. Like, when are you going to set the appointment? And I prefer appointments just because it gives you a chance to get organized, right? You're in control of the time, you're in control of what's going on in the center at that time. So, and always think about your schedule. Think about your schedule. Is there anything happening in the morning? Are you leaving work early? When do you as a daycare director have more energy? Because let's face it, we don't have energy, the same level of energy throughout the entire day, right? So maybe you're more energetic in the afternoon. Maybe you only work mornings and you only schedule, tours on specific days only in the morning where you're more energetic. Whatever the case is, just decide on when the tour dates and appointments are. And then obviously plan accordingly. Always have the info sheet ready, so as soon as the couple or the parent walks in, you can give this to them and they take 5 seconds to fill it out. Again, it's not something that's really long. All we need is really just to touch base and have just basic information. And then you just walk them through your center. I like to show them the entire center, obviously, but I focus much more on the teacher and the group that their child will be in if they take the spot. And introduce them to all your staff. I show them the exits, I show them the washrooms, I show them the kitchen, the linen closet. I show them everything. I want them to feel like my daycare is completely transparent, and that they get kind of like a sense of what it feels like, what life feels like in the daycare. I answer all their questions. And then I ask questions as well. So I asked questions about allergies. I asked if this is the first time in a daycare. I asked what kind of child what kind of temperament their child has. Are they more shy? Are they really energetic? How they socialize with other kids if they've already been in a center before. And it's just a really, really easy conversation. I tell them a little bit about myself as a director and the owner of the center. And I tell them a little bit about the center, obviously opening hours, and a little bit about the educational program, and what our values are. I also give out a pamphlet with a brief description of the center. Now, I used to give out to everyone my rules and procedures booklets, and that just did not make any sense because I was printing and photocopying all the time, and I was just basically just giving out these booklets, these handbooks for free. So now if they want to see or learn more about the educational program in my center, I always direct them to the website where they can actually check that out, because all our stuff is on our website. All our procedure booklets are there. But again, I have a small pamphlet that's printed out and it's ready. And again, it's just basic information, a little bit about the center, our history, how huge of a center we have, what we believe in, our operating hours, and obviously our contact information. That's it. And then as the tour comes to an end, I usually leave it with a time limit. And why I do this is it's not a pressure tactic, not at all. I've already done this mistake in the beginning when I first started my center, where I just did not give a limit after a tour. And I had parents calling me a week or 2 weeks later saying, oh yeah, I came to visit your center, and you know what, we're interested in the spot. Problem was, I had already given it away to another family because I never heard back. So I don't want to have that kind of situation happen. So now what I do is I give them a time. So whether that's 24 hours or 48 hours, just to know yes or no, and so I can move on to the next family or the next visit that I have scheduled. Parents don't seem to mind it. And it really works out best, I think, if you do it like that. And then that's it. I just show them to the door. And obviously I take the tour sheet. On the tour sheet, I have their email, right? Like there's a section where I have their email address. So 48 hours, 2 to 3 days after they've had their first visit, what I usually like to do is send out a survey. And on this survey, again, it's very simple to create. You could go to surveymonkey.com, free to use. And it's just a very basic survey where I want feedback. So whether they did take the place or they did not, there are no hard feelings. I just want to know what their experience was when they walked in my center. What was the first feeling they got when they walked in the center? What they liked the most, what they liked the least. On a scale of 1 to 5, how would they rate their tour experience? Was there something that they wanted to know about that I did not cover during the tour? Just a few questions that is gonna give me feedback where I can actually better my tours the next time around. And this is big. This is huge because, sometimes we all think that we're doing things the right way, but then a stranger can actually tell you, you know what, I would have loved to, learn more about this, or maybe you could have spent a little more time on that. Or maybe they'll tell you everything was amazing and awesome. So it's really great as a business owner, obviously not to take things personally and to listen to what your potential customers are telling you, right? So you could better your service, you could better your tours, you could better your daycare center, because that's what we want, right? That's what we're here for. We're here to serve our clients and our customers and the kids. And if a simple feedback survey can do this for you, why not? So I send out this survey 2 to 3 days after our tour, and I just ask them basic questions. And that's it. That's the tour process. That's how I organize my tours, and I've had success with them. If you are not in the center and somebody walks in off of the street, maybe someone was driving by and they saw your center and they kind of decided, to stop the car and come and check it out. I never turn away obviously walk-ins, right? But if I'm not physically in the office, my staff, more specifically 2 of my staff members, are trained in these procedures, so they know exactly what we do, what we give out, and how we proceed when someone wants to visit the daycare. So I know, so whether I'm there or I'm not there, the tour is going to take place and the procedure is going to be followed, and this survey is going to be sent. So I strongly suggest that if you are not in your daycare center, obviously from morning till night, which I hope as a daycare owner you are not, that you train 1 or 2 staff members to follow your procedures to the T and just give, potential customers the experience that you would have given them. Very simple, very easy, and to the point. And again, it makes everyone's life so much easier. So that's what I do to stand out in my tours. Let me know in the bottom your comments. Let me know what you do to stand out in your daycare center. Do you have a procedure when it comes to tours, or maybe you don't? Share this video with anyone that owns a daycare that maybe is struggling with organizing their tours, their daycare visits. Maybe they're still shy, maybe they get really nervous. And again, everyone gets nervous at the beginning because you're brand new, you don't know what you're doing. I was brand new a long time ago, and my first tours were horrible. They were like disasters. I was so nervous. I was talking all the time and just rambling on and on and on. And it was just such a horrible experience. But as you grow, as your business grows, you learn some tricks to better yourself, your skills, and your service. So I hope you found value out of this video. Sign up to our newsletter to get more freebies sent directly in your inbox every single week. Hop on over to www.profitabledaycare.com. Sign up for the newsletter. I also have a few freebies on there as well on the homepage. And of course, subscribe to the channel to make sure you stay up to date with all the trainings that I release every single week. And I will post a link below to the freebie. So if you want to maybe have a written format of my procedures when it comes to tours, I have written everything down on a really nice PDF booklet. It's yours for the taking. All you need to do is click the link below and add in your name and your email, and it will be sent directly to you. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.